Rise and shine, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Truth Factory Studios, where we break theory apart with truth and fact. Truth, because the truth will make you free. And the fact, because a fact is the best foundation to build upon. All that is to be aimed into making the best version of yourself, your newest religion. Guys, today we're going to be talking about man frame, what it means to master self. We have to understand every single move that we make is going to be productive or counterproductive towards our future. And self-mastery, being aware of the moment, is the key to mastering the most beautiful reality that you can possibly create. I'm going to get more into this topic, but before I do so, we're going to get started. Let's go with this first clip.
Nigga over some pussy, bro.
Bro, my baby mama.
Nigga, fuck your baby mama, cuz. Nigga, everybody got a fucking life, bro. Is you with your baby mama right now?
Nah.
All right, then. So what the fuck you killing that nigga for? He did something to your kid?
Nah.
All right, then. He playing the fucking role, nigga. You got to man up, nigga. You want to kill a nigga over some fucking pussy, bro. You got your own shit going on, bro. You got a car, you got a crib, you got your shit going on. You want to kill a nigga and lose all this shit over some fucking pussy. Is you fucking your baby mama right now?
Nah, but that
all right, then, nigga, shut the fuck up. You ain't finna kill no nigga over no motherfucking pussy, bro. Grow the fuck up, bro. Fuck you said. Did you just fuck a bitch yesterday?
I mean, yeah.
Don't she got a baby daddy?
Yeah, but fuck.
Do he want to kill your bitch ass?
Probably do, but fuck that ain't the point,
No,
nigga.
nigga, the point is, nigga, you acting like a real bitch.
That's my bitch, nigga.
Nigga, that is your baby mama, nigga. That's somebody else's bitch right now, nigga. She getting fucked right now. Your baby mama get fucked and she happy right now. Take your bitch ass on somewhere, man.
Family, the man is exactly right. I love how he had a friend to talk some sense into him, to scream some sense into him in that moment, because those type of thoughts will only end up in throwing away lives, throwing his own life away, costing somebody else their life. Because truthfully, it is not your woman. She is not your person. She's a human being. And some people are not going to agree to your rules socially. Even in a relationship, they may cheat. And because you're with someone, don't mean they'll never be with anybody else. These are all things as men that we have to understand. In the process of life, when we're dating, we're supposed to learn these things. We have to know that, number one, we don't have any control over anyone. So what we must do is plan to protect ourselves and be tactical about who we allow in our lives so we can have the best future possible. However, sometimes you can vet and the person can still you can still have a relationship that fails, even when you do all the right vetting. Because a relationship is about two people or more people. They can always change their mind. They can always, become different, or something can always change when you're dealing with someone. But always note and do what you're supposed to do as a man. You understand? Knowing that whatever happens, you have no control over that. It's often when we try and seek control or gain control that we do something violent. So him saying he wanted to go do something to the guy is just ridiculous when that woman is choosing to be with that guy. You have to leave well enough alone. If that next move is going to ruin your life, that is not the right move to make. Regardless of how emotional you feel, it doesn't justify your actions. See, a lot of times we look at some of the things that women do in their anger and we think, okay, you didn't think about that? That was unreasonable? Well, that's exactly what's happening in us men whenever we jump to irrational decisions like this, okay? Be angry, yet sin not. What that means is, even when you feel emotional, the sin is the thing that you do out of the emotion. And emotion is not a physical thing, so it's not a masculine thing. It is a feminine thing. It is a spiritual thing. It's on the inside, like with thoughts, emotion, all these things are considered feminine. Action, physical, these things are considered masculine. So if a man is acting out of emotion, he is in fact moving feminine. It doesn't mean that you're weak. You could be very strong, and that strength could ruin your whole life because you lost track of the physicality. All your mission went out the window. All of your tact and planning, which is masculine, went out the window, right? You lost track of your path. You became emotional. You lost your ability to see down the road, because masculinity is being able to see in the distance. Femininity is being able to see in the current, right? So you lost track of the long view, and you focused instead on the now. And in the now you react, right? You become reactive in your emotion. And so the thing that we do in that moment, regardless of how you felt, is going to have consequences. So if you go hurt that person, it's not going to matter that you were upset because of this or that and the third. It's just simply how we're throwing our life away. So self-mastery is, number one, those emotions of ours are not always right. You understand? Like old ancient like religion looks at it like God and devil. Not just the Bible, but every religion pretty much conceptualizes flesh and mind as God and devil. Flesh being your double, your earth self, and mind being God, the part of you that you cannot see, the invisible, right? The all-seeing, as hindsight is 2020, right? Whenever you look into the future with tact, you can almost prophesy, because whenever we're using our mind, we have abilities that we just don't have with our bodies. With our mind, we can build Rome in a day. With our bodies, it just doesn't work that way. So the physicality has to take place. The mental fortitude is what pushes the physicality. So that's why you need the spiritual and the mental. The spiritual and the physical. But you can't be overpowered by your spiritual world, by your emotions. So when a man loses track with his tact, with his planning, he has to say, okay, am I being possessed by that double or devil, right? So let's just conceptually, it's okay. If flesh is anything that feels good to your body, the flesh, sometimes you can be angry, and doing a negative thing would feel good, right? Sometimes you can eat for taste, and because it tastes good doesn't mean it's good for you, right? A lot of things that we do physically aren't necessarily good for us, but it feels good. So therein lies the battle between God and devil. You can use your mental and say, okay, what is actually good for me, and choose to eat that, or your physicality can overrule and you can eat for taste. Either one has consequences, right? So it's the same with actions, family. If you master your godly self, your devil self, your fleshly self, even when it desires to do wrong, you will have self-mastery and be able to be responsible for the moment by seeing into the future. Because as soon as you lose sight with your goals and seeing into the future, that's when you become possessed. You start to believe the illusion that the enemy has in front of you. And so we get lost in it, and we become reactive, throwing away everything that we're working for in that moment. You see, as these videos continue, you're going to be, I'm going to show you some clips that will challenge you emotionally. You'll probably say what you think of what you would have done or what you wouldn't have done. You'll probably think about how much it would have affected you, knowing that you were serious about somebody and they switched up on you and, didn't do the things that and live up to your expectations or whatever. And in all of these cases, family, you can't be reactive. You have to understand, I have no control. I simply must respond with tact and the best possible, because I don't want to throw away my life because of somebody else's actions. And I can't let someone else's actions overrule my emotions to the point to where I'm being reactive, to where I ruin my lives, other people's lives, and now I'm trying to justify the emotions I was feeling. So in this instance, it's his baby mother. Imagining her with somebody else, the ego, him saying it's mine, all of this, that his philosophy, the ego saying it's mine. And of course, like I said, just the imagining her with somebody else, all of that can affect a man. But you have to understand, when your philosophy is not as important as your life. Some people will break your philosophy. Some people will cross all of your boundaries. They'll break all the rules. But there's still consequences for your actions. A man must always think with tact. The moment he said that he was going to go do something to the guy because he was with his baby mother, that's when you know that he is not thinking with tact. He's thinking with emotion. This man is not on him, trying to hurt him, and he has to defend himself to get this man out of his way. The man is not in the way of his future whatsoever. The man is not in the way of his mission whatsoever. So that man is not really a problem for his life. So there is no reason to even think about removing this person. But you're thinking about going out of your way and doing something and then trying to justify it. It makes no sense. In the moment it does, all the ego. But that's how we're throwing our lives away. We have to set the example, especially if we're saying, hey, women, don't be loose cannons, go out here scratching cars and attacking because you're not getting your way. Well, men, we're a lot stronger. So if we don't have self-mastery, we do a lot more damage physically. Please understand that. And even the things that women do when they lie or, be deceitful behind a breakup, all that's triggered with emotion. We have to be examples of mastering that. But let's continue.
Great personality, and I want to get to know you on a more intimate level.
I have a boyfriend though.
Man, you don't got to talk about that. That seems more like a liability than a boyfriend. He can't take you on trips. He can't take you to do whatever you want. Is that somebody you want to be with?
Okay, but I've been with him for like a year now.
Yeah, but things change.
I don't know, I just...
Besides the gift, besides the job, what do you say?
It's just hard because I've been with him for...
I get it. You've been with him for a year or whatever, but you can do without him. I think you can do much better over here.
You think I can?
I know you can.
Okay.
Wow. Don't just say yeah because I bought you some shoes or I offered you a job, because if you say no, you still get to keep everything, the job and the shoes and whatever else you want. Are you sure about this?
I know, like, I've honestly kind of had a crush on you since I met you.
I had a feeling, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad, but like, things are not really working out anyways. I mean, I want to do like more things with him, and he's always, oh, I want to just stay home and do this instead, and like I don't have any money to do this, and I don't know, it's just...
Now, first off, notice that he said, wow. This means he was shocked, and he probably viewed her through a lens where he thought she'd never do that. And sometimes men live in that. And because we believe those types of things, we'll give a woman our forever. We'll promise them the world because we believe that they will be loyal to us. And when you find out they're not, it hits a man like, wow. That's part of what infuriates him. That's part of what causes him to lose it. In that moment right there, realizing that you didn't know her as well as you thought you did, and knowing that she could do something like that to you. You know, the next thing I want you to notice is how she went from being in a relationship with him to now finding things to complain about. Women are hypergamous. I'm going to explain that here shortly. But I always say men need to understand the world we live in and navigate according to that world. One of the problems with being delusional on a woman or man's side is they haven't taken the time to learn reality. And so what they do is they project their ideas onto the world. So just because you really like a woman, just because you think that she's pretty, does not give you any, is no indication that she'll be loyal and have qualities of a good matriarch or mother figure, right? Or wife figure, right? So men have to always vet, keeping your eyes open. Someone can always show you good patterns also, and that can yield trust. However, we must understand trust is also no indication that someone will never do a thing. So the best thing to do is try and say, okay, give me the strength to control things that I can, the serenity to deal with the things that I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. I can vet, I can do my part, but if someone is not who I think they are, I have to realize that's when I have no control, and I have to relinquish whatever authority or whatever it is I have with them that's causing me to say I want to hold them accountable to that, and kind of understand that people are just not. They're not going to be you. They're not going to. You're not going to be able to control them. You understand? And so I can understand how this would bring out. Well, my original point was, women are hypergamous, and it's difficult for them to be accountable. So because they have an image of themselves, okay, they don't want to be the bad guy. So even though she knows right now she's being the bad guy because she knows she has commitments with the other guy, when she decides to go ahead and leave him for this guy, now she starts to say things were failing in the relationship. This is where they start digging for things that's wrong in the relationship because they need to justify what they're about to do. This is why whenever a man is asking a woman, like, what's the problem? And she starts going back and complaining about every little thing, what he needs to understand is that she just isn't interested anymore. She'll do that till she's blue in the face because she just won't say, I don't like you, I don't want to be with you anymore. Those things sound mean. It makes her the bad guy. She'd much rather be the victim. And I'm talking about a woman of low quality, not all women. So guys, I encourage you I encourage you on knowing that it's not all women. And this is why you must vet. Okay? It's a lot of women out there who act like this, but there are a lot of women who do not. So vet, okay?
Instead, and like I don't have any money to do this, and I don't know. It's just, I think I'm really.
Yeah, you're way too young and fine to be living like that. So that's the thing of the past. This is our future. So here we are. Can I get a hug? You hungry?
A little bit.
Want to go get a steak dinner with me?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. I'll make a reservation right now.
Okay.
That's pretty much a wrap for me, man. Like look at her. She's like digging him. She's like completely into him. And I was working, two shifts every day, and for her to just does this to me, I'm pretty much done with her. She's gonna pack shit and she's gonna leave. That's it. She wants to go after the money or after these riches, then she can go ahead, go live on the streets and go find some rich guy. I did a lot for her. We've done so many things together, and for her to pay me like this, that's pretty much her spitting on my face, and I'm not gonna accept that. So, yeah, it's over. It's done.
Now, again, women are hypergamous by nature, okay? It's in them to look for the best possible situation. This is why we try to encourage men to always be masculine, always be achieving, always be growing, okay? Now, it sounds unfair because it sounds like, well, as soon as she finds somebody better, she'll leave. I want you guys to understand something, just as men. We try and explain men sleeping with multiple women to a woman. And to a woman that comes off as cheating, especially when you're in a relationship. When men try and explain, okay, but listen, I have these needs biologically, okay, it is not the same, right? The woman still doesn't take that any easier. She still says, well, it's still cheating because if we're together, you should only want me. You should only be with me. But to the man, it's, hey, well, I'm still interested in other women because my sexuality doesn't work that way. It doesn't really go over well. When men understand this, women are hypergamous by nature. So no matter how they put it to us, it's just not going to sound good to us that they're actually not truly loyal. A woman is as loyal as she likes you or she's committed to the future with you. If she starts feeling like she doesn't want to be with you or she sees a better opportunity, sometimes they will leave. And it's not because they're just these horrible people. It's just the facts. Trying to call them horrible is arguing with the universe. Just like when they call you horrible for cheating. It's arguing with the universe. We have these social things that we put in place to try and, garner ourselves, right? When it comes to our sexuality, women are asking for, commitment. Say in marriage, right? He's saying, I will only be with you, meaning that I'll put all that biological stuff to the side. Even if I'm tempted to another woman, I will not. I'll give you my commitment, my monogamy. But this is not a natural thing. It's a social thing. Okay, the woman is saying until death do us part, meaning that even if a guy comes along with more resources, if I stop liking you in the future, because women have a hard time being with someone that she doesn't like, if those feelings begin to subside, this is when her commitment will begin to decline, right? Because she's talking about as long as she feels a certain way. He's thinking forever, right? So we have to understand these things here, right? So if she decides, okay, I'm going my separate way, the man has to say, okay, well, I got to just keep manifesting. I can't control her. She's going to do what she's going to do, so I probably lost my train of thought there, but we'll see. Let's try to continue.
I'm sorry, dude, I really am.
That's fine.
Are you sure this is like something that you thought about?
Yeah, I knew since the moment I met you that I was interested in you in that way. I was just hoping you were on the same page, but it turns out you were, so here we are.
True. I'm just a little in shock now.
Hey, don't be in shock. This is real life.
I still can't believe you got my shoes though.
Yeah, there's plenty more where that came from. That's just the beginning.
Do you want to leave things how they are? Do you want to go upstairs and
Just go in.
confront her?
Just go in there and catch her. She has no idea what's going on, and she really thinks she's slick, but she's not. It's the reason why we did this.
Do you need like a minute, or do you want to go upstairs right now?
I do need. I need a minute. So yeah.
No worries. Yeah, take a minute, and then we'll just pack everything over here really quickly, and then we'll head upstairs, and you can have a conversation with her. I'm really, really sorry, man. Damn.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. Jay came to play. He spit his game and he was smooth as hell. Yeah, maybe the vet helped. Yeah, maybe all the stuff that we got from Hype helped. But at the end of the day, if Danny was truly loyal to Charlie, none of that should have mattered.
Where are you gonna make the reservation at?
So there's a few different options. What are you feeling?
What's kind of close?
I think there's a Mastro's close. Sound good? Cool, I'll make it there.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was worth the wait, and most important,
All right, guys.
I hope you guys
So
have
before I play this next clip here,
because you guys already
which is a really great one by Jordan Peterson explaining hypergamy, I want to say that when you hear her start justifying why she's going to leave the man, she or whenever she lies to him now and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it," or "I wasn't thinking," and all the things that she'll say. We'll say she's a liar, she's deceitful. You heard how he said if she was truly loyal, she'd have never done it. So this is when we begin to paint them as a bad person, right? And instinctually, it's a natural thing. And that's when we're arguing with the universe. We want to shame. You can't control. So that's one thing we want to do is shame. He wants to go in there and blow the spot up now. Really, a man knows who she is, and he could simply make a decision without her, but he'll want to talk with her and reason with her. And a lot of times what she says can keep him from moving on from her. He'll get under her spell. So it's like vetting means look at her actions, see how she moves, and then leave her alone. You don't have to go and consult it with her, and she doesn't have to understand why you don't like it, because half the time she'll just disagree with how you see it. So if you say you lied, she'll say, "No, I didn't. You was going to do that. No, I wasn't." She'll call it something else. So you have to make your decisions based on how you see them, family, for your life. You understand? The reason is, and also a reason there's no need to call names or shame or anything like that, is because when you try and understand the universe, you don't try and put words to it. They're going to lie for the same reasons men will. So many men in this world are lying, saying, "Hey, I'm completely monogamous. I don't even think about sleeping with another woman," and they are selling this lie to their wives and still going out and cheating. You say, "Oh, they're liars, they're liars, they're liars." Truthfully, on the inside, they're upset at themselves. Why can't I master this? Why do I have this issue? Because they can't accept that they are biological beings trying to be social beings. You understand? So if you ask them, if a woman asks a man, "Do you want another woman, or are you cheating on me?" They'll lie for all those same reasons. They can't master instincts, so they still go out and do the thing, but they don't want to throw what they have away, so they'll lie about what they're doing. But it builds a false narrative. The person believes that they are who they say they are, but in fact, they have things they really need to work on, but they're not going to be open about it. When caught, they'll come up with a bunch of excuses. We're going to call that evil. I always say the lack of self-mastery, the lack of knowledge is what makes us evil. The moments is what exposes that. So if you want to defeat the devil, get knowledge, try your best to stay aware of the moment so you don't lose track of the moment. Always know reality. If that happens to you, say to yourself, women are hypergamous. Because what you'll do is you'll say, the woman you was with, "Oh my God, Sally, Sue, you did me wrong. You hurt me. You broke our covenant. I didn't think you could." And all this trust and things you projected onto her is what's going to come out. But you have to just look at it broadly and say, women are hypergamous. Whatever you need to tell yourself to master yourself so you can move on in peace, she's not the one for me. Because doing something in that moment is going to throw your life away. But let's continue. Jordan Peterson, guys.
Women are hypergamous. They meet across and up dominance hierarchies. And so if you're a male who's successful in a given hierarchy, the probability that you're going to have additional mating opportunities is exceptionally high. It's an unbelievably good predictor of that.
That hypergamy is a very uncomfortable discussion.
Yes,
some
it
people.
certainly is.
That's a big one, though.
It is.
The idea that it defines women's sexual choices by the fact that they want bigger, better. They want someone who's more successful, someone who's higher on the social ladder than what they're accustomed to or what they have.
Yeah, well,
now.
what women do is that, like, mate choice is a very difficult problem. So how do you solve it? Well, here's how women solve it. Throw them in a ring. Let them compete at whatever they're competing at. Assume that the man who wins is the best man. Marry him.
It's a biological solution.
It's a biological solution, but it has a cost.
What is the cost?
The cost is polygamy.
Now, guys, right there, he's simply saying it's natural. Throw them all in a ring, let them compete, and then take the winner. It sounds like, dang, that's kind of harsh. Men are just seen as objects, but that to her suggests that she has a promising future for her offspring, that this man is capable. If you look at nature, some of the craziest stuff goes on, man. I remember when I learned that giraffe literally squab it out before mating. Like the female will not mate with you unless you can beat her. I mean, defeat her, and they literally go at it, yo. Because she's saying, hey, if you can't protect me, if you can't defeat me, you certainly can't protect me and my young. So the man literally got to prove himself to her by giving her the business. It's crazy. You understand? But if you look at that savage, but that's how that female ensures that she has a partner who can protect her. You can't protect me if you can't beat me. Like, it sounds savage, but it's nature. So that's what's happening here. And we're saying, she's a Jezebel, she's evil. Just know when you make these covenants with a person, they're social covenants, and it does not ensure that they will not behave a certain way. They can look you right in the eyes and say, till death do us part, I'll always be loyal, I'll never leave you. He can look you straight in the eyes and say, listen, I will never sleep with anybody else but you. You are the last woman that I'll ever see in this way. And they may, in fact, go against those things. When they do, it is not a right to punish them. You are not the universe. Move away from them if that's what you need to do to protect yourself from them and their behavior. But reacting is just the worst way to handle it. It's about self-mastery, not mastering others. All right, let's continue.
Women don't want to be wrong. They'd rather lie than be wrong. It's their nature. It's not a bad thing. I'm not dissing women. Women run from submittance. In relationships, let me say this. Men commit in relationships. A woman cannot commit in a relationship. I don't care. Oh, she won't commit. She broke her commitment. She broke her commitment. She never was committed, bro. They can't. When a man commits to a relationship or a marriage with a woman, he does that in thoughts that it is forever. When a woman submits, she does that in thoughts that this is fucking awesome. And he's awesome. And I love this. And I'm getting what I want. As soon as that stops, she's like, I'm not happy. And she fucking leaves. She will tear your whole family and legacy apart, bro. And we know this is a fact. Women don't.
I am going to go out on a limb here and say that is what they call the modern woman, or what I call a low quality woman. She goes in seeking things that are self-gratifying, right? I'm happy. He's awesome. But a woman of high quality, she will commit. She is geared to a future. And that's what you're looking for. That's why I say, men, vet. Find the woman who cares as much as you do about building that future and that family. That way she won't be so thinking about the moment that she's only focused on her immediate happiness, what you're doing for her in this moment. She'll see you as someone who's growing to be the man that you're going to be, just like she's growing. As you guys go through life together, that'll bring out different things in yourself, different challenges, and you will become different people. But the ultimate goal is creating a tribe and heritage together. You'll always think about the children. You'll always think about the mission and the purpose. A woman who is like this, she's not going to be coming to you spending all your money up because she knows you have a budget. She wouldn't want to have all these things and you not have the resources to be able to cover the family. So he is correct, but he's correct about a specific type of woman. And so I want you guys to understand that there are good women out there. There are women that are good for marriage. Don't be discouraged. Set out to find her. Let's continue.
Now, I don't know gay shit. I don't know shit like that, but I'm scared of women, bro. When you see women, you know, they all done up. They look good. They're beautiful. But that shit is like a mask. When I see a woman, she got the makeup on, she got her hair done, she looking good. I don't know where her brain is. I don't know if she got a disease. I don't know if she got herpes. I don't know if she broke. I don't know if she living at her friend house, apartment. And you might fuck around and start liking this girl. And her problems become your problems all of a sudden. I understand that. So that's why I'm just not so quick to fuck anything, to just talk to anybody, to just let anyone into my personal life, into my personal space, into my circle. I love hard. And I fall for women hard. So that's why I got like this wall up, because I might fuck around and fall for your ass, and now you ain't the one for me. You ain't the one that's gonna help me elevate. You ain't gonna help me get to where I'm trying to get to in life. I'm not talking about every woman. I'm talking about.
Fantastic. So look, one of the things he just ended with was, I'm not speaking about all women. This is why I would say, men, be encouraged. Now look, I know he is on a radio station. He's getting his bars off. He's expressing how discouraging it is, knowing all of the risks involved with trying to deal with a woman, and there's fear involved. But to that, kings, I just want to say, have no fear, thus saith the Lord. So we talk about men being in their masculine, and I'm not saying this from a real like Lord's given place. I'm quoting a scripture because I want you guys to understand the spirituality of it all. Fear is considered feminine. It's not physical. So it's false evidence appearing real, right? FEAR, false evidence appearing real. Whenever we sit there and we think on that, we are not going to be productive. This is what causes an idle man to live in your fear. If it's for a radio station, I have no criticisms. He's speaking of how discouraging it is that he's going to say those things. But I'm saying in life, kings, if you're saying, hey, I'm really scared out here. What if this happened? What if that happens? What that turns into often is you manifesting that very thing because that's what your focus is on. Instead, what you're going to do is focus on good qualities. A lot of men say, man, I can't find any good women out here. I try to encourage men by saying, there is nothing you can't have if you focus your mind's eye on it and make it your purpose to manifest that thing. Have you ever went out literally looking for a good woman? Because what you would do is you go out, set out, find a woman who fits what you think she should look like, because that's important to us. Well, our genetics, her beauty, these things like that are important to us. Walk to her and talk to her with your intention. Tell her you're looking for a wife. A lot of times if a woman goes out and says, hey, I'm looking for sex because she is the gateway to sex, many men will come trying to holler at her. I promise you, if a man steps out and says, I'm looking for marriage, you'll see women lining up because so many women do want something with a promising future. All right. It may not be in droves like men come for sex for a woman, but I can promise you now, the man who puts it out there, I am looking for a wife. I promise you he'll have more women in front of him than he ever thought of by just going out and saying, hey, I'll kick it with her. She's cool. And then, hey, every day that goes by, I'll kick it with her. What you should do is reward good qualities. If you meet a woman, first of all, and she is beautiful, you introduce yourself to her, you tell her you have this intent. If she's down with dating, spend more time with her. She shows you good qualities. This is how you end up with the right one. Typically, the man vets incorrectly. We'll typically put the ones who are more beautiful to us in the lead, and their application stays at the top. Regardless of how good attributes the women who may not be as pretty have, we'll tend to look over them in favor for the big butt, the big breast, the thing that we physically like. So when a man wants to find a good woman, you have to focus on good qualities because beauty don't raise children. You understand? I know you want the genetics, but find a woman with good genetics and not necessarily aesthetic beauty. We should be more looking for qualities. All this fear will go out the door if you set your mind's eye to what it is that you want and start focusing on the qualities that you want. All those things are possible. But imagine the squirrel says, hey, I'm not going to come out for the nut because I could get picked up by an eagle. I mean, the snake could be right there. The human could have a trap for me. The this and that and the this and that. They likely never leave out of the hole. So you have to put all that in the back and say, okay, I can't live in fear. I have to live in action. Fear is not in your physical. Fear is in your mind. That is a feminine thing. So if you're letting your thoughts overpower you, you have to understand this is what makes a man feminine. Being masculine is being active, being about that action. So again, I understand it being said on a podcast, but in life, put those thoughts to the side, cast them down, okay, and go with action. Plant the seed, regardless of if it looks like it's a drought, right? It's like having faith. Regardless of what it looks like, do what you're supposed to do, and the universe should reward you on the other end. All right, plant the seed regardless. As long as you know it's good ground, know the weather will change. The forecast will change, family. All right, but let's continue.
Then when I was bored knowing he was in love, so would do almost anything I said.
Did that. Loved that.
I know. I feel like that's so fun though it's so fucked up, but it's fun when you're like not dating anyone and there's really no one else like around, so you just hang out with them knowing that they're like so obsessed with you and they'll do anything and like buy you dinner and like.
Yeah. Well, not even just that, but in the episode when that's like I dated two guys at once, the one guy kind of would still fuck around with other girls. So obviously he was who I wanted and who I would prefer to hang out with. But if he wasn't around, or if I was trying to make him jealous, I would hang out with the nice one, just because I knew he would literally do anything for me and was like always there. But every time I'd end up being so fucking annoyed because he was such like a little like baby wimp and would just like, I don't know, like I feel like everybody thinks that they want a simp, but once they have it, they're just like,
it's
it
too
makes
much.
you angry at them. Like, it makes you mean to them, and it's not even like a good feeling anymore. So it's kind of like you're just trying to fill a void of, oh, like I want somebody to hang out with, and he's in love with me and obsessed with me, so I'll just hang out with him, which like at the time was really like a good choice, I guess, but it never ends up being fun. And
No,
I always
you don't want someone who's overly nice. It's just like you just want to tell them to shut the fuck up and grow a backbone.
Now here, family, I'm hoping by you guys listening to this, you can see why men would want to vet. Why men are saying, damn. So this same woman who responds for this man in a positive way will come over here with me and be a different way. So it's really hard to tell. It's all based on who I am is what she shows me, right? Well, a lot of us men do honestly think the same way. We have a woman who we'll call because she'll answer the phone. We don't really like her, but we keep her around just because she's available, all right? She gives it to us without a problem, and it's just a thing, right? Women will keep men around because they're just nice and they put up with whatever. They let you kind of run over them, and notice that they don't like that behavior, right? It benefits them for the moment, but men don't technically like the woman who's always available for them either. It suggests to them that they have poor quality, just like the man who doesn't deal with any issues and lets everything roll over suggests he has poor quality. If there's so many holes in the ship and you can see that these holes will lead to problems, the ship sinking even down the road, and he don't mention it, you have to say he's not very responsible. So if he's saying, okay, I'm so afraid of her, I'm so afraid of her emotions that I'm not gonna even tell her something that she did that needs to be addressed, she can recognize that that's a weakness in the man, yo. This is why it turns her off. She may not even be able to explain why it turns her off, but that's a indication of a lack of leadership or poor leadership. If you see something's going to be counterproductive to your future, a man should always say this regardless of the emotions, because the fact is, emotion is irrelevant. If the action is going to cause demise in the future, then you must address it. If it's overspending, if it's bad habits of any sort, if you know it's going to cause problems in the future, you have to tell this person. Ladies, if your man is going to become an alcoholic and you're not speaking to that, and he drink as much as you want, I'm not going to bother you, and then you'll allow him to walk down these roads without you being the voice of reason. This would be the same. Imagine you could see something's going to be a problem with him, his gambling habits, whatever the case may be, him constantly lying and cheating. You can see this is going to be a problem. You try and tell him. His emotions are so prevalent that you can't even tell him, so you're just going to sit back and let him. He'll resent you for it. That man will not be really productive for you because he's running over you. You'll put up with anything. So you got to understand why vetting is key for both parties. We all must be looking. If somebody's showing you patterns of something that's unhealthy in the future and you know it, bring it out. It don't mean yell at them and call it out in the worst way, but you got to make these things known to your partner. And they have to kind of see eye to eye, because their difference of opinion on this matter could cause them to move differently in the future. Your difference of philosophy is likely what leads to your behavior. So if they disagree with you, you might need to say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe we're not good for each other because of how you see it, but let's continue. This next video is going to be a good one.
I just pulled a 13-hour shift. And I ain't got no food to come home to? Huh?
Why you didn't get something on your way home? Why you always recording for your raggedy cousins?
Look, I just pulled a 13-hour shift. You being my wife, I pay all the bills in here.
All the dishes clean, your clothes clean. Why? What?
You don't fix me no lunch for my job. You eating? You work from home.
Okay,
I can't come home to a full course meal.
This is leftover that I had from last night.
But I'm saying I can't come home to a full course meal. What we married for? What we married for?
I'm not your mama. I'm your wife. The dishes clean, your clothes clean, your clothes. You always got them clean clothes when you go to work, don't you? Can you stop recording me?
I can't come home to a full course meal. Working all these long goddamn hours, I can't come home to a full course meal? Huh? I just knew I was gonna come home and have some food on the goddamn stove. And now you playing, man. You playing. You playing.
On your way home.
Well, you playing. What the hell we get married for? You've been doing it for like 2 or 3 months, man. What is it? I can't get no food when I come to the house.
He's pointing out an issue and she's not really responding, right? But I don't really want to focus on his issue, as some men wouldn't have that as an issue. They wouldn't raise it as an issue. He'd come home to no food. He'd simply just say, I don't got no food. And you'll see men in the comments saying, hey, I wouldn't even have been mad. But you got to understand, she's disregarding what her husband is saying. This is an issue for him. So she should respond. But his number one fault was not handling this like a man. Why is she being recorded? It doesn't matter if this happened every single day. You don't need to let people know why you're making your decisions or having them weigh in on your decisions. As an adult, to be able to call ourselves adults, we should be able to make decisions for ourselves. This includes breaking up with people if we deem them as not suitable for our future. We have to be able to make these decisions on our own without having to publicly humiliate, so people can understand or agree with us, or we can feel like we have some community in it. It's a sign of immaturity. Okay, you're embarrassing this person. Whether their behavior is negative or not, they're a human being, and you don't have a right to put them on Front Street like this. Imagine if you didn't cook for your husband. Imagine you didn't do something for your wife, and she walks in with a phone talking about you've been failing in this area and failing in this area. What's the deal with you? Like, wait a second, I'm not your child either. No, it doesn't make any sense for her to say, I'm not your mother. You should have some food prepared if he's paying all the bills. That makes no sense. But at the same time, the way he's talking to her, you have to understand this. She's not your child either. So the way you're talking is to scold. You got her on camera, when really you could just have this conversation with another adult. I go to work. I'm expecting food when I come home. Is this something you can do going forward? This is what's most important. If we're only dealing with what she didn't do, often her lack of accountability or lack of ability to be accountable will have her dancing around and things like this. Because a lot of times, honestly, women just don't want to be wrong or be in that hot seat. So like children, they'll say or do anything to get out of that. As men, we can understand that they do have this type of issue based on their development in life. Not all women, but based on their development, if they're used to not being held accountable, they typically will do these types of things. Blame, shift blame, change the subject. When you realize you are putting her on the spot, liken it to provoking. If you continue to persist, if you can see that her responses are silly and don't make any sense, liken it to provoking. Because it's almost like, I see you on a hot seat. I see you not going to let me pin you down, so to speak. And it's bringing the worst out of you. It's almost like when a woman is being what we call disrespectful, or she's provoking. She's speaking to you in a way that she can see has you emotional. She can see that it's bothering you, and she won't stop. In that moment, she may not feel like I'm trying to provoke him. She may be upset also, but she sees an angry man. In this moment, you see a frustrated woman. You're also frustrated. You're not saying, I'm going to provoke her. But you have to understand, you persisting is provoking, and you'll likely just bring the worst out of her. Instead, say, why would I sit here and argue if I'm about action? Why have a bunch of words if I'm about action? You didn't cook for me? Well, I'm not your mama. True. I'm asking you now to cook for me as my wife. I'm not your father, yet I pay all the bills. So going forward, can you make sure that food is on the table so I can have the nutrients for going out and getting the hunt? In the future, can this be done? This way you don't have to argue about the past. If she says, no, I'm never going to do it, now that is when you need to understand you got a decision to make. And even then, it does not need to be posted on social media. All right? This is when you start seeking whatever steps are necessary and either bringing about some resolution, or possibly even removing yourself from this person. All in all, in this situation, he's married, so it's a little too late to do that without avoiding punitive treatment for that. But men vet, and even when you vet, you may still have some problems like this. But in the event of that, it doesn't excuse us either to go public and start shaming. Okay, two wrongs don't make a right. Let's continue.
Not gonna like what I gotta say, but you know me, I'm gonna say it anyways. This whole stigma about men being the only cheaters needs to stop. Women cheat. Men know that women cheat. Over 50% of women actually have a backup partner. And it's not the fact that we're just so much better at it than them. Men just typically don't walk around talking about the fact that they've been dogged out by a woman and they've been hurt and they're never going to love again. Putting it on a pedestal as if it's the only relationship issue. You typically hear from them in a different language. Something like they don't trust a woman who has a whole lot of male friends, or they're fear-mongered out of marriage because they know so many married women that they've hit personally, or married people that cheat on each other. And you don't actually have to have intercourse to cheat. You can emotionally bond. That could be a form of cheating. You know, something like a work husband. Yeah, that's women cheating. It's funny how society dresses us up as if we're more mature and more intelligent than men. But when it comes to an emotionally bonded relationship, somehow we're always the victim and getting manipulated. Women cheat. Men know that we cheat. They just suppress it and they don't talk about it.
I do not have much to add. What she dropped there was complete bars. Men know your reality. Women cheat as much. They cheat just as much. Look up the statistics. They cheat just as much. They're not better at it at all. Here's where men struggle. Trust. Simply trust. When we see something that throws us off, we don't push forward and ask for proof. Let me see the phone, right? Let me take whatever precaution I need to take to make sure that I'm ensuring my paternity by watching this person, making sure they're not cheating on me and putting time into that. Typically, we'll use trust. We'll say, okay, or what we believe about the woman. Nah, she wouldn't do that. It can't be what that was. And because we tend to be less invasive of people's property than women are, we don't get to the bottom of it. Typically, when a woman uses emotion, I promise I wouldn't cheat on you. You don't trust me, and she'll try and shame him for not trusting. And that'll work a lot of times on us men when we don't have self-mastery. It does not matter what a person is saying to you. If you are experiencing a moment where you don't trust somebody, get proof. They will say anything. Now, when you get the proof and she does show you the phone or does prove to you that wasn't the case, it should build your trust in her, right? And she should be rewarded with you trusting her more. But make no mistake, no one is past being confronted when there is an issue right in front of your face. So you're not going to be the type to just go snooping. You're not going to be the type to just go interrogating and not trusting. But if you see something that causes you to not trust, confront it. Confront it. If you hear a sound in your house, get up and go look, man. It's the best way to protect yourself, because what will happen is you didn't look. Now, all this time has gone down the road and it's been happening. And now you're raising somebody else's child or being accused of somebody else's child. Because little known to popular belief, you don't even actually have to plant the seed. Sometimes just crossing paths with a low vibrational woman can ruin your life. How many men have you seen get a child blamed on them? They never even gave her the seed. Just crossing paths with her ruined his life. And the thing that ruined his life was him not being accountable to that moment and being responsible in that moment. Getting the test that he would have found out she was lying or that she was wrong in who she thought was her father. But just crossing paths with her, whether her motive for getting him on child support or hooking him, it's irrelevant. If he would have just done what he was supposed to do, he would have known that what was the case from there. But it's just true. Just crossing paths with some of them can ruin your life. So protect yourselves, man. All right? That's all I can say. Don't live in trust. Don't live in your expectations and what you project. Let's continue.
You had me thinking that she was my baby for 7 years. And I feel like you're making jokes about this whole situation when this is serious. I'm so hurt right now. I can't believe you would do this to me. I was there when she lost her first tooth. I helped her with her homework. We spent so much time together. And you still lying on his phone when a DNA test came back and said I am not the father. I can't believe you would do something like this to me. Alright. Alright. You know something? You know something? You wrong. You so wrong for misleading me like that for all these years. I'm so hurt right now. But it's cool. You want to take everything as a joke? Karma is going to come back.
All right. Notice how emotional he was. Wanted her to know how bad she hurt him. We completely understand all these things. It can be freeing sometimes to tell a person the damage they caused to you. But guys, it's only going to infuriate you more whenever they don't validate it. So you have to ask yourself, is it good for us to be sitting here trying to get a woman to understand how much she hurt us when she's not going to be accountable to that? If she's just going to invalidate it like she didn't do anything wrong, wouldn't that just infuriate you? So when I say someone's done this right here, now he's arguing with the past. It's not his daughter. he should just move on without talking to her at all. He has no real need to dialogue with her. She does not have to accept the problems that he have with it or the character that he puts on her. You're wrong for that. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't have to. She if she don't want to believe she's wrong, she's not gonna say you're right, I am wrong. Which that's what would be nice for you to hear. But when she does all the other stuff, that's just gonna infuriate you more. So why make yourself susceptible to that nonsense? She's already proven to be a liar, a deceptive person, a manipulator. Why do you think you can go to her now and expect her to be empathetic to what she's done to you? She knows she was doing the whole time. So a lot of times we're putting ourselves in a lose-lose position to sit here and tell the person who hurt us that they hurt us, especially when they're not going to acknowledge that they hurt us or be accountable to what they was doing. It feels right, though. You did this to me. You hurt me so bad. I need you to know this. And I'm telling you now, what does that do for you getting closer to your goals in life? You getting closer to healing? You do not need that person to be a conduit to you being healthy. Go get some therapy. Maybe talk to someone else who can hear what's going on and understand how you feel. Because them not understanding how you feel might bring the worst out of you, man. And this is how a lot of men end up throwing their life away. Because the woman won't be accountable and he gets infuriated and starts speaking with his actions instead of his words. He gets controlling. You're going to understand what I'm going through. And then he wants to, dominate. It's sad when a man sees this is happening. Run from that person. Sometimes you got to take off running. Use that extra strength that you have, the extra speed you have, and just take off running. Flee from the situation. Because if you get physical, man, you're going to throw your life away. Seriously. So if you see somebody did you like this and you know it's not your child now, run. Get far away from them as possible, because who knows what you'll do to somebody who hurt you that bad. Let's be real. Explaining it to him ain't gonna get it across to him, and they're not gonna apologize truthfully and genuinely through you explaining it. So that would make you want to punish physically or do more, right? Why do you think women go out of their way to terrorize men? A lot of times the men are being heartless about what they did to them. And that turns into, I'm gonna make you feel it. And we cannot do that. Let the universe be the biggest teacher, be the greatest teacher. Let's continue. I think this is the last clip.
Yeah, bros. Yeah, I'm crying like a little bitch. I'm crying like a little bitch because I just broke up with my girl. 4 years down the drain. But I just can't do it to myself. I'm so fucking hurt for what she did to me. And I just gotta move on. That shit hurts so fucking bad breaking up with her. Because I've always loved her, but I just can't go back with somebody who cheated on me, who fucked somebody else. All the shit she said about, I don't know, bro. I know it's the past, but I fucking can't. I can't do it. I have to move on. I can't. This shit hurts.
So, guys, sometimes you have to cry in the car. And I'm not referring to actually what he's really doing right here. On Friday, whenever Debo took Red's chain and Red took off running, they said, he gonna cry in the car. So I've been saying it ever since. Sometimes you just gotta cry in the car. It means there's nothing you can do about it, right? Red gets in the car. He's like, that's my grandmama chain. Like, this man is stronger than me. I couldn't physically hold on to what I had. It's just, in order for me to defeat this man, I don't have to go work out or be tactical, because this man is just stronger than me. I couldn't master the moment. I was in fear. And he's in the car crying over the universe. He witnessed himself be afraid again, right? Okay, some things happen and you have no control over what just happened. Sometimes you have to cry in the car because it'll destroy your ego to know you can be cheated on and done this way. And it'll make you want to lash out. They say, man, don't cry. Well, he recorded it and put it on live. I wouldn't suggest that. But sometimes crying can be the best thing for you. Crying is actually healing. It's healing in your tears. When you don't understand what's going on and you have nothing else to do, sometimes a man just got to get alone and cry. Sometimes you got to cry in the car. And sometimes that's best, rather than chasing her down, asking her to be back in your life, or putting up with nonsense. Sometimes you got to move on from somebody, even if you love them, because their behavior is not productive. And that may require you crying in the car because you do love them. It's just not wise for you to stay with them. Like I said, we have to go our separate ways. I love you, but I have to release you. Your behavior is counterproductive to the future that I want for me and my life and my children. You are now released from all commitments that we had, all spiritual bonds that we had. I love you and I want to be with you more than anything, but I have to make the decision that's best for me in my life. That may require you crying because, of course, you care about this person. But as a man, master your emotions and do what must be done. That is being masculine, all right? Actually, this is the last video. Short and sweet. Let's go.
I know she been cheating. I'm talking about she going out of town with her sisters. Sister at work. Is you talking about you going out of town with your sisters? Yeah, okay. Hey, Nisha. Who's this?
It's my brother.
You put your hands on him, though?
Yeah, it's
Who
my
was you,
brother.
boss? Who was you, boss? This my female. This my woman, bro. So what you doing here, Nisha?
Oh, this is my brother. What are you talking about?
Stop playing.
So again, you're arguing with the universe. You see her right there. You see her with this other man. You know that's not her brother. So you engaging in that moment is only putting yourself in danger. You don't know what you may do in that situation. Whenever she sits here and starts lying, you don't know what he may do because he sees you approaching. He's going to protect himself whether he wrong or not, right? She's choosing to be with him, so he ain't going to feel like he wrong. And if he does feel like he's wrong, he's still going to make the best decision for his life going forward. So when you see her doing this, she ain't got no place to come back to. It's simply put. You're going up asking questions. You addressing him like he did something wrong to you. He didn't do anything wrong to you. He don't have any commitments with you. See, as men, we got to understand, when someone you're with shows you bad character, don't confront the person that they're breaking character with. That person helped you expose who they are. Count it as a blessing. I appreciate you, bruh. She yours now. The same risks await him. Move on with your life. This is not productive to your life. You did not plan on going inside the airport, confronting nobody today, embarrassing yourself, letting the world see what this person did to you publicly. You could have just moved on from it, and nobody knows the shame that you were put through. We live in a world where we want to be victims. And I'm telling you, man, that gets us nowhere. Nobody needs to know what happened. Just make your decisions and navigate life by what happens to you. All right? This right here is going to be a little bonus clip. Look at this crap right here as we close out. Look.
I'm so dumb that I was thinking that they could when they really can't.
She says, POV, you serving a fine A hood ninjas. You serving fine A hood ninjas, and they offer to tip you $800 to leave with them in their Hellcat, but you loyal as F to a hardworking 9-to-5 man. So she's in the bathroom like this is a bad thing, right? Dang, I really want to take this little $800 measly to leave with these dudes, more than one, in their car that is never going to be yours. But you loyal to a hardworking 9-to-5 man. Those are good qualities to have. He's diligent, he's consistent, whether he makes a lot or not. Those qualities are indicative of a consistent man. Now, having money, that's good, but men willing to pay you to leave with them, that's low quality. That suggests they're not interested in you long term. So why would you take the now over what could be what could be a great future? Why would you settle for the now? And $800? Listen, man, if this makes you feel bad, I mean, I ain't even going to judge from here. Just men understand that sometimes the woman that you're with could be so lost, she thinks that you're not even worth giving up an opportunity to go sleep with with guys for $800. Like, wow. I would think that to take money to go leave with some guys for whatever reason, just to take money to spend time with them, even if it wasn't for you know what, I would think that would be the equivalent of being homeless on the street, having to beg for money, having to use your body and to earn money as attention or anything. I would think that for a woman that would be the lowest of all lows, and she would be much happier in a relationship with a man who loves her and they are working together to establish a future. I would never think that we live in a world where somebody's saying, you know what, I would have much rather left with those guys for $800. Like that's some kind of come up. Like that's like, what? You have a job, keep working and get your tips, sugar. Like, I don't understand this. But again, family, that is wild. To me, that's like a man said, hey, I was waiting tables today and somebody walked in and offered me, $2,000 to take these drugs from here to there, and I'm so mad that I didn't do that. Like, why are you mad? You have a job. Get your money, man. Don't take the risks. You good. It makes no sense that you would like to do that. Master thyself, Always be responsible for the moment. Do not lose yourself in the moment. The more you can be aware and responsible in the moment, the better your life will be, okay? Do not live in your emotions. Live in your plans, the things you thought about ahead of time. This gives you the best chance at life, kings, all right? So this video will be called Mastering Man Frame or Self-Mastery. I believe a lot of our women can watch this video the same and understand that, you know, how to master thyself. We both should be working to master our emotions and not let our emotions master us or be the leader of us. Anytime your emotions are in control, you are possessed by the enemy, okay? Anytime your emotions control your body, your emotions, not your tact, not your logic, not your awareness or responsibility, but the thing you're doing in the moment without thinking because you're emotional, this is when you're being possessed. Your flesh, which is what contains your emotions, is winning and it's overpowering your mind, your God, okay? These are concepts, and they've been used throughout history to bring about understanding on life, okay? Whether you believe in a God or not, a devil or not, if you believe in a true God, then you believe in sin, correct? If you believe in yourself as your higher self, then you believe that there are consequences for your actions, correct? And this is why these concepts have been used. But anyway, family, this video has been long enough. Be evolution, be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it is in that chaos that you have found yourself. Peace.